Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
And welcome to Rocket Right. We are so glad that you decided to spend a little bit of your day with us and maybe your night. If you're watching us on television, we have launched in the last week our television show all across South Louisiana in 22 parishes, as well as our radio show on Talk 107.3 FM and KWLA. So we're really glad that you could join us sharing all things Louisiana. We're on the go and showing off life in Louisiana.
Absolutely. So we're excited with our partnership with Pelican Broadcasting and coming to you on Cox Cable, Allen Cable, Dish,
AT&T
Uverse, YouTube, and MeTube.
That's right, YouTube, MeTube, and if you just have an old-fashioned antenna, you can see us too.
Yeah.
So just flip through and our shows will replay. So we want you to share that on radio, on YouTube, on RocketRight.com. And this is all about people just sharing ideas from a women's perspective that's a little right of center.
Yeah.
And that's important.
And you're to my right.
That's right. I'm always to your right. Because we're always right.
And I'm to the center.
That's exactly right. So you're the center of attention of a lot of things. Wow. Nationally, you're very, very well known because nobody loves and promotes Louisiana like you do.
Well,
I know. So we are so excited that you could be with us. Our Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser. I know everybody knows your face, but we still have to make the introduction.
That's
and
okay.
I can't tell you how excited we are that you're hanging with us on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me, and this is great. It's all about Louisiana, right. And I do have the best job in the world promoting the great state of Louisiana. And as we try to come back and welcome visitors in Phase 2 and hopefully roll into Phase 3, no other state has more tools in their toolbox to promote a state than Louisiana.
That's right.
Foreign fairs and festivals, the best food in the world, the music. I just saw David St. Germain up here. I mean, great ambassadors for Louisiana all over this great state. So you couldn't have better tools to promote a state than we have here in Louisiana.
We love you, we feed you. That's just how it is. We love you, we feed you, we sing to you, we dance with you. And we'll get back to all that when we get past this time of COVID, but we've got to be careful right now.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that you really want to make sure people understand is when they come to Louisiana or they're traveling, we want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves.
Absolutely. You know, we saw a little setback in the spike this past week. We want to get to Phase 3 so we can have those great fairs and festivals, Mardi Gras, all the things we're famous for. And to make sure we're doing our part, if you come to a Welcome Center in Louisiana from out of state, you're going to get a Louisiana Feed Your Soul mask. If you go to one of our non-museums in the state, we're going to give you a Louisiana Museum mask. And then if you stay at a state park, you're going to get a state park mask for you and all your guests in your camper or your car to make sure we're doing our part in making that curve flatten out and head south so we can get back. It's so important to the local economy, the businesses, the musicians, the restaurants that are barely hanging on now to get out and support those businesses and do it safely.
And
Absolutely.
you had a question about a letter that he wrote to President Trump. You thought that was a bold move.
I think that's great.
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you,
folks about it.
I tell you, we saw the president visit Maine and go back to the White House and, with I believe a stroke of the pen, grant a bunch of money to fight the imports of lobster to the East Coast. Well, we've been through hurricanes, the oil spill, the opening of the spillway. I believe Louisiana seafood producers, farmers, and fishermen deserve the same treatment. So I wrote a letter to him, copied our congressional delegation. Hey, you forgot about the Gulf Coast, not just Louisiana, from Florida to Texas, the best seafood in the world.
Absolutely.
So I've reached out to my fellow lieutenant governors to write the same letter and demand that we get some assistance for the seafood industry right here in Louisiana. Today I wrote him a letter and sent him a couple of Louisiana masks and said, put a mask on. Nobody's too big to put on a mask and show. We lead by example. We've reached out to Lauren Daigle, Lane Hardy, some of the younger people with millions of followers, and asked them to go out and post a picture on their site and share it with their followers and ask the young people to wear a mask. We've got to do our part and make sure we get rid of this virus so we can get back to normal in Louisiana.
Right, because we would certainly love to be back to normal.
That's right.
Sooner than later. Now, you mentioned, though, state parks. And, you know, kind of you can't venture very far. You don't want to venture very far. But it doesn't mean stay in your homes.
No.
It is not the stay-at-home order. It's be safe, but there are so many outdoor activities and places to go within our state that we'd love for you to tell folks what is available to them, and they may not even know, even though they live here in this great state.
You know, you can go to the LouisianaTravel.com website. You can punch in staycation. It'll show you a day trip, a 2-day trip, some great ideas, places to go along the way, the trails and byways, and encourage you to go to a state park if you want to rent a cabin or a camper space and you book 3 nights. We'll give you the 4th night free. You punch in welcome back code and it'll give you that 4th night free. Last weekend we saw our best weekend ever in state parks. Over 2 million people went to our website. We've got some new splash pads, new restrooms, new cabins. We've got horseback riding in Bogue Chitto, tubing, canoeing. We're looking for more private-public partnerships to bring new things to do in the state parks and share that revenue with those entrepreneurs. A lot of great things happening, and it's a great way to get outside and safely enjoy those trails and enjoy the state parks. And we've got the 17 historical sites, non-museums, great air conditioning with this hot weather. And the museums all across the state have some incredible history and things that everybody should get out and see. After all, it's yours. Louisiana should get out and enjoy it.
And it's a great time to do that. And a lot of people, I mean, you know, they haven't ventured, even when there wasn't like COVID and issues going on. They really hadn't ventured a lot of times past their own city to explore our own state. So
absolutely.
It's a great time to do that.
And all indications are all of America is going to travel, stay closer to home through this summer. They're going to go maybe 1, 2, 3 days, but they're going to do drive market. RV sales are up 150%. People are buying an RV and getting out on the road. So it benefits not only Louisianans, but us to market that to the surrounding states. And you're right, so many people from here have not been to the World Heritage Site, Poverty Point, or that tree up in North Louisiana where you can canoe inside of a 1,000-year-old cypress tree. But there's so many great things to do. The Gothic jail in DeRidder, the Bentley Hotel in Alexandria where part of the D-Day invasion was planned. Incredible things, the main streets, the bed and breakfasts, some unique hotels all over the state, and get out and shop and eat in a local restaurant. It's going to be Louisianans that help keep these businesses alive through the slow period. And if we get out and do like we always do after the hurricanes and the oil spill and support Louisiana businesses, we'll help them make it through these tough times.
You know, I hate to admit this to you, but I've never been to Plaquemines Parish, and that's your parish. And so if I wanted to come down to Plaquemines Parish, because I heard it's great fishing, I've heard it's really delicious, you know, I have not really adventured through Poverty Point, and I'm all over Louisiana. But I think that people need to really pick maybe a north and a south area and just go discover it.
Woodland Plantation, right south of my home in Plaquemines Parish, is the home that was on the cover of the Southern Covered Liquor Bottle for many years. They took an old church, brought it up the highway, and they call it Spirits. And it is a restaurant there at that plantation where you can stay right there in the Mississippi River. And when I was president of Plaquemines Parish, we used to say you could fish anywhere, but you catch fish in Plaquemines Parish. Now I had to change it and say you can fish anywhere, but you catch fish in Louisiana. Because really, you can catch fish all over Louisiana.
That's right.
You know, Toledo Bend was just named one of the top bass lakes in the country. We've got world records in our lakes and the state parks and the Gulf of Mexico and in the swamps, the Atchafalaya Basin. You can fish all over this great state and catch fish.
Some of the best times that you and I have ever had with our dads was fishing. because we didn't have cell phones back when our dads would take us fishing. But just that time alone, uninterrupted, just out in nature and enjoying that, and that's so important. I mean, it's so important for families to have that time with their
Yeah,
children.
Trace Askin has a song about it.
And you know, we our camp,
Another Louisiana musician.
our teams at work at a state park's incredible. You know, everybody's had cutbacks. They do an incredible work. They do the work of 10 times the people we have, but also they help. We've got a lot of single moms that brings their kid out, and they'll help them, teach them how to fish. We've actually had man enough to be a Girl Scout days out at the state park.
Okay.
I'm man enough to be a Girl Scout, and we teach those Girl Scouts how to fish, and they outfish me. So just anything we can do like that to get you outdoors, enjoying the great outdoors with your family. We've got some great group camps at the state parks where you can invite all your relatives, and they've got the girls and boys side with the kitchen in the middle, and have a real party there, wearing your mask. But just great opportunity for you to be with family and friends and have a great time.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the swamps. So good time if you've never taken a swamp tour, I'm assuming, to
You've got to
check
do
out
it.
that nature of the state.
And you might not want to go in the swamp by yourself. You kind of need to have somebody that knows the swamp.
Yeah, you
So
don't
get
want
a
to social
swamp
distance
tour.
and do that solo. Yeah.
And you know, people go out and don't see gators. All those swamp tours, they're set up. Those gators know when those boats are coming, and they just attracted by the boats.
Well, we want you to stay with us if you can. We're going to be right back with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser right here on Rock It Right Radio, and we're thankful for our
The
sponsors.
Rock It Right Show.
I know, I
Remember,
still
we're
say radio. I
expanding.
know.
We are expanding. We are still on radio, Talk 107.3 FM Saturdays and Sundays at 11 a.m. and
That's right.
KWLA, but moving on into TV, and so you can see us, and we got to make sure that our hair looks good each week. It's not just the radio face anymore.
That's right. And we'll be right back with Rock It Right Show, and you can find us on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll be right back with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Stay tuned.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here. Some big changes are coming to the Pelican and Cox Cable. July 15th, our numbers are changing. We're easier to find and we're in high def. New Orleans, Gramercy, Lutcher, Acadiana, Patterson, Baton Rouge, new numbers coming and a brand new signal. It all happens July 15th on Cox Cable. Do your buddy Clarence a favor, will you? Get all the details by checking your local guide.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
And thank you for hanging with us for Rock It Right. We are so glad that you decided to stay with us and spend a little more time learning about the fun things you can do in Louisiana. We love Louisiana. We are unashamed. We are unashamed and share it every chance we get. And so we have Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser with us. We're thankful for our sponsor for this segment, Advantage Health Solutions. If you or someone you love has a problem with pain pills, opioids, or heroin, there is help for you at Advantage Health Solutions in Baton Rouge. Their telephone number is 225-769-6595, or go to their Facebook page, Advantage Health Solutions. So we're so glad that we have so many businesses that are supporting us. We're thankful for the opportunity to continue
And
what we're doing.
I've heard great things about your sponsor and the success they've had.
Thank
so
you.
it is a great company, does great things. So glad to have a great sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes, we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So we're really thankful for our expansion in to TV to just reach more folks with messages like what you're giving us today.
Exactly.
You know, on things that they can do. And tell us a little bit about the Louisiana Lagniappe program.
So as soon as we had this shutdown, we knew we couldn't wait for the doors to be back open to Louisiana, to the world. So we started, myself and all the tourism folks around the state, started working the phones, the email, to every convention that canceled, not only here in Louisiana, but around the country, and said, if you rebook your convention or your meeting later this year when we're open for business, or next year, we'll give you a little Louisiana lagniappe. We'll give you Louisiana seafood prepared by a caterer, chef, or restaurant, local. We'll give you a musician or a band, local, Louisiana, to perform your first or last night event. Make it a little special. How can you turn that down?
How could you turn that down? I mean, a taste of Louisiana.
So the Trucking Association was going, I think, to Miami. They're going to Lake Charles. We've got a couple dozen that said they're going to pool their members and see where they'd like to go. All indications are, but we're gonna really take some of those events that we're looking at, Miami, St. Louis, Chicago, and when they get that free first night or last night free, surely they're going to bring their, and it'll help them get more people to come, knowing they're going to get a free night party on us here in Louisiana. So we hope to continue to work that hard. So when the doors are back open in phase 3, we've already got next year booked. So we're bouncing back quicker than any other state because we've rolled out a plan early on to capture those conventions, those conferences, long before we're able to actually host them.
That's awesome. Totally awesome.
And that brings some new fans to the musicians as well. But Louisiana has so much talent, and they also have a lot of Grammy nominees and Grammy Award winners.
Well, and we've got to help those restaurants, the seafood providers, and the musicians bounce back quickly. Remember, they are hurting as much as anybody. They've been out of work. There's been no work. And until we can have those fairs, festivals, and special events, there's no work for them. So if we can add to them a few extra bookings early on in this recovery, that will definitely help them and their families out.
Even music educators like the Grammy Award winning Mickey Smith Jr. out of Sulphur and the Lake Charles area, he's having to do online classes for his music, and he has a 501(c) for people to donate instruments to his students who can't afford them. And so he was making a plea, like, how do we keep the music education going for those people that are so talented?
Well, we were fortunate to be able to give out arts grants this year to every parish. We do that every year. We have to move some tourism money because if we didn't, we'd lose federal grant money, and those arts grants are so important to every parish. We also have given out grants this year to the Restaurant Association, to every area of the state. They know best how to promote their industry to help them encourage people to get back out and eat in those local restaurants. We've given some grants to the Bed and Breakfast Association, and we've also given some direct assistance to every convention and visit bureau in the state so they can promote their local historical district, downtown, Main Street, and help bring visitors back to their town. They know best how to do it, so rather than us try to promote it, which we're doing anyway from Baton Rouge, we've given those grants out to local communities so they can get back up on their feet quickly.
So a lot of people don't realize the Convention and Visitors Bureau doesn't make money unless people stay in hotels. And there's not a lot of
Right.
people coming to the hotels, so it really does hurt
Right.
them. And you've been able to help them with that as well.
We've helped them with some of our budget money. Unfortunately, the $15 million that was in the legislature got taken out at the last minute. We just got to do a better job of convincing the legislature. Tourism is the fourth biggest industry in Louisiana. 53.2 million people came here last year. They left behind $19.8 billion. That's over $1.9 billion in taxes. That comes to over $1,100 per Louisiana family that you and I didn't have to pay. That is an economic engine for the state. And so goes those local shops, restaurants, amusements, hotels, bed and breakfast. So goes Louisiana's economy. So I don't want to put up an extra $1,100 a year in taxes. So we've got to do everything we can to bring that industry back as quickly and safely as possible.
Well, now, let's talk about, there's things that people can do that they're listening and participate in the Louisiana Ambassador Program as far as helping to promote the state.
Right, if you take a staycation and you go, I took my staycation to Toledo Bend, you go out and catch some fish, they cook them up in that resort for you, the fish you caught, and then we went to Natchitoches. And my mother-in-law spent 3 hours in that hardware store there. It's been in the family 100 years. See the Christmas lights. She went home and posted on social media the great time she had in Natchitoches. Since then, 20 of her friends and family members from Houston, Texas, have made a trip to Natchitoches. And I'm sure they went home and told their friends. So when you go to somewhere, whether it's the Gothic Jail in DeRidder, a swamp tour, eating in Avey Island, going to the Tabasco plant, wherever you go, you're going to have a great time, have some great food. You're going to share it. You can hashtag Only Louisiana, share it with your friends and family, and that'll help every community drive more tourists there and help us promote. The best salespeople for Louisiana are Louisianans, because telling a story about the time you had is far better than me putting a commercial on TV. So Louisianans can make all the difference in the world in bringing tourism back to Louisiana.
Well, it's a good time to share everything about Louisiana. So if there's Louisiana products that you love, you enjoy, chances are they're selling them online. And we want to make sure that people understand we want to share the products that keep Louisiana fueled and going. And a lot of people had a part-time job to supplement their income in the hospitality industry or the tourism industry. And now they might have lost their full-time job and they've lost their part-time income. And so we want to make sure that as soon as we possibly can, that we get people back to work.
Well, and one thing, I'm president of the National Lieutenant Governors Association, and I just gotten off a conference call where we're putting together some asks if there is another stimulus package. With so many needs in every state, we want to make sure they understand the importance of some direct grants to like the transportation, the bus industry. Much like the airlines, those bus companies move people not only for visitors to and from Louisiana, but during hurricanes. That group moves our people out of harm's way. So goes those bus companies, so goes a safety issue for Louisiana. So we want to make sure that industry gets recognized. The musicians, there's some money that is dedicated to tourism recovery, because it's hard to ask for tourism money when you're trying to help businesses make it with grants, keeping local economy, the local services in each parish that are so vital to those communities. It's kind of hard to ask for that tourism money to be split up. So if we can get some additional monies in the next stimulus package to certain groups of these that need it, that have kind of been left out, we hope to do that, and we're going to speak together with a loud voice, Republicans and Democrats, lieutenant governors from across the country, asking their congressmen and senators to support all these other industries that have been left out.
Well, motor coaches and any commercial trucking, they've had the double whammy because high insurance rates and COVID.
Absolutely.
So right now, those industries really need, a champion, and they need several of them to try and help get them over this difficult time.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping this $300 million the legislature is going to offer small businesses. is done in a way that it gets to the people that need it.
Absolutely.
I don't know all the restrictions that have been put on those grants, but I hope we can get them out quickly to the people, because many of these companies and businesses are hanging on by a thread and surely need the help.
So have you thought about where your next staycation might be?
You know what? No, I have not. I know I'm going to be heading up to Toledo Bend and to North Louisiana next week, and I'm going to be stopping along the way at some of the great restaurants just to highlight them and shoot a little video, share it. Some of the shops, I'll be stopping by some antique alleys and shops, and really just trying to promote safely wearing my mask, and I'll be doing that all over the state until we get everybody back that we need to make everybody whole and get this industry back where it was for the last 4 years, record-breaking numbers in tourism.
And folks can follow your staycation on Facebook, I guess.
Absolutely.
They can
they can
track
follow
you.
Billy Nungesser, Lieutenant Governor of Louisiana, and I will be having my next Facebook Live July 7th, Louisiana Travel Talks. So come join us, ask some questions. I'm there to answer your questions because I work for you, Louisiana.
We are so glad that you could join us today.
If anybody can do it, he can.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We got a great team. We're so blessed to have such passionate, loving people that work in this industry.
And we're going to be right back. We're going to be talking to Dr. Curtis
Solar about how can you personally help your health and come out on top during these COVID times. And then we're going to eat some great Louisiana seafood prepared by Rouj Creole at the end of the show. So you're going to want to stay put so your mouth will water.
That's right. And we're going to be right back with a tasty treat. And Rouj Creole is one of our favorites. So go to your Louisiana restaurants, enjoy a good meal together, or get it to go and delivered to your neighborhood. And we'll tell you more about that too in our last segment.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
I was diagnosed October 19th. I immediately started with a multitude of scans, and then I was having an 8-hour surgery. My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment,
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here. Cox Cable is upgrading the signal from the Pelican, but to catch us, you're going to have to tune in now to a new number. Acadiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Gramercy, Lutcher. Check your guide for details.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Welcome back to the Rocket Right Show. Thank you so much for hanging and joining us. And our medical segment is brought to you each week by Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, which is the premier cancer treatment center in our state. They treat so many folks throughout the state and even beyond coming to Baton Rouge for their treatments. And we're so excited to have them continue their partnership with us. And we're so excited that my other half, Dr. Curtis Solar, could join us today for the medical segment. Thank you for coming in. I can tell. That's a big smile.
Well, between the two of you, you delivered half of Baton Rouge.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not counting, though. Not counting. But,
But thank you for coming. We appreciate it because you and Kay both just have such great information. I learn something every time we talk. And I was just wondering if all you talk about is medicine at home.
Pretty much.
Yeah. A lot of medicine, a lot of music, a lot of joy around your house.
If it's not medicine, it's music.
That's right.
That's right. Well, we were talking, and I thought it would be a great time to talk about what you need to know to come out on top in this COVID world. So, but before we get to that, we want to go mask, no mask. We hear stuff out in the stuff. And what is some of the science about that? Does my spit accumulate in here? Am I, what's the total scoop? Yeah, I talk a lot.
Is it okay to breathe your own exhale constantly for long periods of time because you're caught?
Yeah, I know.
And the different types of masks.
Yeah, I know we've read bad health aspects of wearing a mask. There's not much science that says that they're bad. Obviously, physicians wear them all day long in the ORs and don't croak that often. We do change them a lot, so I think if you're going to do a cloth mask, it's probably good to wash them or to change them out as frequent as you can. The cloth masks are mostly to prevent you from giving somebody else potential COVID. The science is not great on it. How much is that going to cut down? But if we're going to enjoy the state and whatever else that we may want to enjoy in the near future, unfortunately, we probably will be wearing masks until the risks are lower.
Well, last week the executive order in East Baton Rouge Parish from Sharon Weston Broom was that if you're in public, you need to wear a mask, and that the police, the fire department, the fire marshal are going to be giving you a misdemeanor. This could happen in other cities as well. They want you to wear a mask in public. And so, to be honest, if I've been in public, not near anyone, I haven't worn a mask every single time if I'm at an open market. What are your thoughts about that?
In public outdoors, the science is extremely poor on that. If you're in close contact, particularly people speaking a lot, the evidence is people get COVID mostly in their own home from a family member. So the evidence of if you're outside, you're in a state park, as y'all were just talking about, you're not going to get COVID, riding your bike or jogging. But if you're sitting right next to people, that would be a good thing, just as we do in our office when we're seeing patients to reduce the likelihood of us getting it or them giving it to them. Obviously both people have to do it, hopefully not with parts of your face showing.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people that kind of let it.
There's a whole lot of thing on that's why I wanted to talk about it, on the types of masks. So, and the big thing is yes, as he mentioned, physicians change their masks frequently. We're not taking our mask, putting it in our purse or our pocket, and wearing the same mask for a month, which I think that there are people out there doing. The reality is that you really need to change those out, and if it's a cloth mask, you do need to wash them occasionally. Otherwise, you're going to have spit and germs that are going to accumulate in there over
Probably
time.
Probably for the general public, a cloth mask is going to be fine.
Right.
Unless you're
surgical
sick.
mask. Well, no, if you're sick, that's the big thing. Don't go in public.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Those are the people who are spreading COVID. The healthy carriers are, again, not the likely, particularly in public. They may give it to a family member, but they're not going to be giving it to people out in public. But yes, if you got a cough, you got the big sneeze, stay home.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice. Now, let's talk about, okay, we've got, guidelines and stuff, but a lot of people aren't really talking about what you can do personally. There's things that we can do as individuals that's going to lessen our risk of getting COVID or having severe complications of it. And so I'm not talking about the mask, I'm not talking about the social distancings, I'm talking about things that folks aren't talking about that can help us out individually.
Unfortunately, I think that's one of the biggest things that's been missed out and a missed opportunity throughout all of this. First, COVID, most people survive COVID. You're probably looking at a 99+% survival if you get COVID. Obviously, you want to try to prevent it, but if you do get it, and then how would you be more likely to be in the 99 versus the point something? And that's what very seldom do they speak about on any of the shows that at least I've seen. And some of the things are easy things. Be healthier. Reduce your intake of healthy food and decrease your intake of bad food. It's easy to say bad food, but most people aren't totally aware of what bad food is. I like to put it into categories. Sugar's the devil, that's the worst food. Liquid sugar is the pure devil.
It's the pure devil. And
yes,
high fructose corn syrup, which is in everything kids eat.
Yeah,
yes.
and it's a shame it's snuck into so many different foods that many people think are healthy. Some of the nutritional supplements for elderly, I won't like to say names. Some nutritional supplements for diabetics, I won't say that name either, but don't ever drink that.
And even like
read that label.
Healthy
Yes.
meal supplement bars or healthy granola will have.
They're frequently sweetened
that.
with the.
Well, we're addicted to sugar. We love the
It's
way that
great.
it tastes.
And it's not that we say don't do it. It shouldn't be the mainstay of our diet. So we sugars first, and then the next thing is processed foods. Processed foods to when it's ingested to the human body, we're our ancestors. We have still not evolved much beyond 10,000 or 100,000 years ago. We weren't made to eat processed foods. I skipped one, I'm sorry. The second was solid sugar, like fruits.
Right.
Those can be consumed, but you should limit that amount too. Going back to our ancestors ate fruit, but it was seasonal fruit. We don't eat it daily in huge amounts. And then the third thing is processed foods. Everyone should try to limit that. If God didn't make it, try not to eat too much of it.
So the perimeter of the grocery store is where you fill your cart, and then you go in for the coffee and maybe a little this or that inside.
Yep.
For
sure.
That's really, really important.
Like
and
chocolate.
Like chocolate, which to me is calcium.
Well, and so much of what you said, a lot of those things is because they are inflammatory.
Yeah, well, there's
science as to why those are bad things.
Yes. So sugar is bad because it increases your insulin levels. People think of diabetes and they think, I just need to keep my sugar in my bloodstream down. That's only half of the story. If you have high sugar or high insulin, and they usually or frequently go together, those are both very bad for your immune systems long term, keeping you from being able to mount a healthy immune response to things like COVID. COVID, for the most people who get COVID, won't even know they have it because there's immune system cells in your nasal passages that attack it so quickly you don't even know you have it. It's the people who immune systems don't respond well enough, and that or they get it directly into their lungs from not wearing the mask. But anyway, and it reproduces to the point then you get symptoms and you're sick. That's why they say it takes about 5 days, because it's that time period where it's reproducing in your system before you actually know that you have an illness.
So if you're eating all of that inflammatory, unhealthy, 5-syllable additive food,
your body doesn't know how to respond because it's fighting things it doesn't know it doesn't need to respond to. These subtle inflammations from a poor diet. Also, just lack of nutrients. When you eat a processed foods, they'll say added vitamins and
niacin and
all these things.
thiamine.
Well, they have to add that because they took it out in the processing part, and so but nothing can be added that's as good as what it was in nature. So you're much better off eating it as close to natural form so that you get those vitamins naturally. Your immune system is able to do what it's supposed to do and keep you.
But the marketing campaigns from when
They're
we
slick.
were like kids in a junior high, it's like, Shake-a-Pudding and all the other sweet things that you get. Those things is a treat. And then the treats
And
all the time.
they're okay to be treats.
One
but-
Pop-Tart
right.
now and then won't kill you, but
Right.
Pop-Tarts every day,
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If the mainstays of your diet are chicken nuggets and corn dogs and Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. It's a personal...
You may be able to live with it for a while, but it's going to catch up with you.
It'll catch up with you in your 40s and 50s
Yeah.
for sure. But, I really have a problem when I see people giving their kids like Mountain Dew in a baby bottle, or something like that. It's high sugar.
I'm glad I
it's
hadn't seen that.
Well,
I was thinking apple
some
juice
people,
was
they
bad.
get them...
Well, it is.
It is.
A lot of
Apple
people
juice
don't
will
realize that juice is one of those liquid sugars. It may have a little bit of vitamin from an apple or from an orange, but that should not be
What's the
consumed.
preferred drinks to give babies? And not just little babies. I'm talking about toddlers and young children. So that would be water.
Water.
Water
And
with a
that's
little
for
bit.
all of us. And,
Easy answer,
sticking
water.
with
And I think
the healthy
pediatricians still say
foods,
milk.
boosting our immune systems, so
Dark
that
green
not only
leafy.
can we fight off COVID, but other health issues that
COVID just brought a lot of this to the forefront, but most of our health issues are diet related and such.
That's right.
Yeah, and we can look at other anti-inflammatory food tips. Eating fish, seafood, right here. Your healthy nuts, spicing it up with all kinds of things, turmeric and such. Spices are very anti-inflammatory.
We need to do another segment on the anti-inflammatory herbs, because there's all kinds of herbs and spices that are so good for you.
Absolutely,
make
got to
food
be
so
a
much
great, a great talk. For sure.
Well, we just appreciate everybody hanging with us. And Dr. Curtis Solar, do you have any other things you'd like to add?
No.
No?
Oh, you're
We've
so
always got lots of
talkative.
questions. So we really, really do appreciate you coming and being with us. And it's important to start your kids and your family off with very good nutrition. And we just want to make sure that we keep everybody informed. So thank you for being with us, Dr.
Thanks for
Curtis
hanging.
Solar.
I appreciate it. And we'll be back talking about seafood and getting your mouth to water with some healthy dishes from Rouj Creole.
I owed the IRS $10,000. The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Clarence Bud Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bud Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. That this place is cutting edge.
And you're back with Rocket Right Radio, TV, YouTube.
Just a show.
That's right.
Just a show.
That's
It's
right.
just a show.
It's just a
on all
show.
the platforms, expanding out into the state of Louisiana.
Our favorite state, the best place to live in America.
Yeah, boy.
Mhm.
And so
We
we're
feed
so
you
excited.
good.
This is the eating and drinking segment.
That's
okay?
right.
And we are so excited to have the general manager of one of our favorite restaurants, Rouj Creole, in Baton Rouge with us, Stick Newchurch. Thank you, Stick.
No, it's a pleasure me being here, ladies, and I just want to say congratulations on the new digs. And they always say some people have a face for radio, you have a face for TV. So.
Oh, well, thank you, because I was thinking, man, this calls for hairdos and I don't know, all
Makeup
that
budget's
stuff.
going up.
Yeah.
That's right. We're really excited that you can be here, and we're thankful for our sponsors too for this segment. Jen Oken Photography. If you go to Storefront Project BR and the Front Porch Project BR, you'll see her work. She's really an incredible photographer, and she's pulled together really over 1,000 different people and families and businesses, and 1.2 million. She and Amy Supp have helped do that with businesses. And Laura Sue Events. Go to laurasueevents.com, and Sue is SUI, events.com. Wonderful planner for corporate events, weddings, engagement parties. So we're just thankful that they could be our sponsor for this.
And
because
you can
we're
check
very
out our
entertaining.
brand new website at rocketright.com that Laura Sue put together. And we're just launching that with our new show expansion.
Yes. And so one of our very favorite places on earth is Rouj Creole. We love the whole concept. We love the big Louisiana painting on the wall. We love all the different little areas, but most of all, we love the food and wine list.
Now, if somebody hasn't been there, let's talk about the concept Rouj Creole.
Okay, and let's remember, it's not spelled in the traditional way.
That's
so
correct.
So we do use the Haitian spelling of Rouge, R-O-U-J.
That's right.
And, what we try to do is we try to take what people think of as traditional Creole cuisine, and we want to take all the different elements that help build what we know as Creole cuisine today. So we're taking stuff from all different parts of the world. We got North African, Mediterranean, trying to get the German influences, of course the traditional French and Spanish that we see all throughout Louisiana.
And it turns out all nice when you mix all that stuff up together with a lot of the dishes. Now, you brought some for us, and so I want folks mouth to water. Let's just go left to right.
We're getting the forks out. We're getting serious now.
Yeah, we're getting the forks out because it is just tasty, and I can't wait to taste it. So tell me, on our left, explain, what do we have right here?
Well, sure. At Rouj Creole, we're really known for our char-grilled oysters, but one thing that gets a little forgotten about is going to be our oysters bordelaise, which is our take on fried oysters, and we do more of a New Orleans-style bordelaise sauce that is, heavily garlic and butter. So just a great combination.
Well, you can't go wrong with heavy garlic and butter.
No. Let me see.
That is wonderful. So,
Betsy.
Are these?
Sorry, I'm not going to do that.
So, and you do love Louisiana products, Louisiana seafood, true to the Louisiana tradition, but these are not necessarily what you're going to get in the traditional Cajun Creole. Y'all really put a whole new spin on it, and it's layers of flavor. And that's what I love. When you take a bite, you taste something. As you're chewing, you taste something else. You swallow, and then the aftertaste is so good with everything you do. And your chefs are so creative.
That's right. We try to focus on complex flavors, not something that just sits with you one time, one note. We want from start to finish you to be able to enjoy every single bite.
Okay, now let's talk about this other bite. And see, since we are 6 feet apart, normally Betsy could catch this oyster if I flung it at her, but not from 6 feet. I'm just gonna say. So we're gonna have to practice that before another show. But now let's talk about
one of our favorites.
This one. Oh, yeah. This is beautiful. I think I might have had this last night.
That's right. You ladies had this last night?
Yes, we had a business meeting there, and we did eat this, and it looks fabulous.
And your barbecue shrimp,
Explain.
you don't have to peel it.
I love that because I like mine.
goodness.
I'm spoiled. I like mine peeled for me. I'm just saying. And so I asked that question. She goes, no, they're peeled. And I'm like,
that's right.
Yes.
On our barbecue shrimp, we actually serve 5 jumbo shrimp cooked in our barbecue butter, served over our pepper jack grits. So it's on our social side, which is more of our appetizers. But on those Sunday and Saturday mornings, we want a little brunch. Pair that with a side of cauliflower au gratin or our chef's vegetables, and you got a great meal to start the day.
Absolutely.
Golly, do ya?
Yeah, okay. So now, since we're like making our way around the food table,
so this is
Betsy, tell us what you have. Show what you have over there, and tell us what she's got, and we're going to let her take a little bite of that because it is closer to her than me.
Well, I knew I was going to be following Lieutenant Governor Nungesser, so I want to make sure that we brought some fresh fish from the Gulf. This right here is our fish beurre blanc. We use market fresh fish daily. We usually have a couple different options. Right now, we're doing fresh yellowfin tuna. So this is over a bed of chef's veg. We have 5 ounces of yellowfin. That's cooked rare. It's always to guest preference, and finished with fried artichoke hearts and jumbo lump crab meat.
Look at that.
And of course, our beurre blanc.
I want to make sure that you see this tuna, how thick it is. That is a very healthy size piece of tuna.
And it is very healthy for you too.
And Rouj Creole never gives you these little bitty tiny portions and makes you feel like, oh, you're so lucky to try it. It's like, here you go. This is a real meal. And I really like that. And for the dollar value, you definitely don't over promise and under deliver. You always over deliver.
That's right. What we strive to with our guests is, unlike a lot of restaurants that we go through, not just throughout the country, but some in Louisiana, where they make you feel like it's a privilege to eat there, we take it as a privilege to serve each of our guests. So we want everybody to leave with a great experience, with great service and great food.
Well, let's talk about the location in case folks go, man, I want to go eat that. And that is just a couple of the.
I am going to taste it.
You should taste that. A couple of the items on the menu, but located in the front of Perkins Row.
That's right.
And if you're not familiar with Baton Rouge,
Louisiana, so if you need to make a trip down, if you're watching, you need to make a trip down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
That's so good.
Then definitely over in front of Perkins Row, they're easy to find Rouj Creole.
You're going to come to Baton Rouge. I mean, a lot of people are going to come to Baton Rouge that don't live in Baton Rouge because you're going to
hopefully we're going to have football and they're going to come to
that. Right, absolutely.
Yeah, Southern University sports, high school sports championships and playoffs. These things are going to come back.
Yes.
But if you need to shop, a little retail therapy, Perkins Row is a great place to shop. But Rouj Creole is not just one restaurant. It is a phenomenal place. There's nothing like it. But there's also some sister restaurants
in the
as well.
Citigroup Hospitality.
That's right.
Tell us about your company.
Yeah, we're a part of Citigroup Hospitality, led by our fearless leader, Mr. Stephen Hightower. Part of our umbrella of restaurants right now is City Port Brasserie, located on Jefferson Highway, just across from Town Center. You get some real unique barbecue flair that you don't usually get at most other barbecue joints. Then we have, what I call our diamond in the rough, and that's City Slice, located just north of LSU on Chime Street. I'm sorry. Yes, get them confused. But they, some of the best pizza in the city. They have couple of dishes on that menu that are very unique to a pizza location, and I think if you haven't been, everybody needs to give that Diamond and Rough a try.
Absolutely.
So Rouj Creole is more. It's the decor of these restaurants are totally different. So you could go to one and enjoy everything. And
Well,
go
you're
to
going to
another
get a
one, and it's
totally
not
different
like
menu because they
it's not
all
like
have a
chain.
different feel and a vibe and a theme, but
it's a Louisiana owned, locally owned and operated.
Yeah, which we love.
Yeah, very much a variety, but you have a very upscale look without being stuffy, because I've seen them come in shorts. There's been people that are casually dressed that come in, but the lighting fixtures, the colors that you've chosen, the round booths are really.
I love a booth.
I do
telling
too.
you. I like to feel like I'm really comfortable and eat in a booth. And you have a fabulous wine list as well as some specialty cocktails.
We've actually had them in the studio do some specialty cocktails.
And I had to go have one of those a couple of days later because it was
mocktails.
so good.
It's not just alcohol. Some of them are mocktails, and it's just a delicious infused drink that's very refreshing, and they're very creative in the way that they do it. Y'all do a great job.
And y'all did some creative things to stay alive during this hard times during COVID, as far as the wine garage sales. Of course, you had the delivery to different subdivision communities.
That's the fascinating thing to me as a company,
which was really awesome.
And I forgot, I left that part out. As part of we do have a City Port Catering located on Government Street, and we're talking about those getting deliveries to your neighborhoods. You contact those guys, they will set something up with your homeowners association. They will get the great food from Rouj Creole, City Slice, and City Port to your next door.
So anything coming up that we should be looking for? Where should folks go in case you do another virtual wine dinner? Yep, that's a thing. That's pretty cool. Where's the best place to follow? Is it the website? Is it the Facebook?
So we do a great job on both our Facebook page, Rouj Creole, as well as our Instagram.
Yes, lots of pretty pictures that make you want to eat there for sure.
Yes, pictures every single day, and you get all the cool information about what we're doing.
Well, there's a lot of great things that you do, and you also have some meeting space, some large meeting rooms for people that want to do that. But the virtual wine dinner is something that I hope you continue to do even after. But, we've been very fortunate that we get just a great meal every time we go, whether it's little appetizers and a little glass of wine or whatever it is. So thank you so much, Newchurch.
We appreciate you bringing the great food
from
Folks, go get it yourself at Rouj Creole, spelled Rouj. And thank you so much for tuning in to our show today, Rocket Right Show, catching us with Pelican Broadcasting on Cox Cable, Allen Cable, ATU-verse, Dish. Help me out, Betsy. It's
That's
so
right.
many. YouTube,
just keep looking for us.
Talk 107.3 FM on Saturdays and Sundays at 11, and KWLA. We are everywhere. Thank you for being here with us.